on Monday, July the 11th at 5 p.m. Okay, we done had a roll call and a legislature, so we'll move on down. We had no guest speakers, so.
Do we need to put approval on that agenda, Mr. Chairman?
Yep.
Do we need to get approval on that agenda?
Yeah, okay, on number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need approval on the agenda. Did I hear a motion on it?
I make a motion to approve the agenda that's set forth.
I second it.
Okay. Got a motion and a second. Any discussion on it? Not. Mr. Burris?
Aye.
Mr. Pope? Aye. Mr. Lucas?
Aye.
Mr. Barner?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. We approve the agenda. Okay. This is our consent items. Approval of meeting minutes for June 2022. The work session, the regular meeting, the call meeting, and the public hearing in the call meeting. I hear a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes as they happened on those specific dates listed.
Okay, you got a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on it? If not, let's vote on it. Mr. Burris?
Aye.
Mr. Pope? Aye. Mr. Lucas?
Aye.
Mr. Barnes?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. All right. Now, on the new agenda items. The bid award for the Swamp Road paving improvement, and I'm gonna have to turn it over according to that to Mr. Barner. Those Thrift Brothers is involved in this, and I'm gonna ask him to take it over.
Okay, in the work session, we brought up discussion on the bids that were submitted for the Swamp Road project out there. We had 3 bids, Allen Owens, East Coast, and Thrift Brothers. And we talked about, they was bidded out before we opened the bid, they was denied, so we brought it back up this meeting. So does anyone want to make a motion on accepting the lowest bid that's been submitted to us?
I'll make a motion that we accept the lowest bid on the same stipulation that I stated in the work session, that our engineer goes out at, maybe not necessarily every day, but when he's available to go out and make sure that it meets the standards of what the county standards are and the state standards are.
Okay. Got a motion, give a second on
I second it, Mr. Vice Chair.
okay. Any discussion?
Under discussion, the motion recommends or requires the engineering department to inspect it before the contractor is paid. Was that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other discussion? We'll take a vote. I think the chairman's gonna be staying from voting on it. Commissioner Burris,
Aye.
Commissioner Pope, Mr. Lucas,
Aye.
and the Vice Chair votes aye. Mr. Chairman?
Okay. All right, thank you, Steve. Okay, we'll go to the B, Public Defender contract. I hear a motion on that.
Chairman, I move that we approve this public defender's contract. I guess that would be for the remainder of 2022 and first 6 months of 2023.
No, sir, it's for the first 6 months of, well, actually July, beginning July 1st to the end of this calendar year, and then we'll get another one for the second 6 months.
So this be for just 6 months, right?
6 months, yes, sir.
Okay.
Second.
Got a second? Any discussion on it?
Under discussion, can you give the amount of the contract, Mr. Moore?
Yes, sir. It is, the amount of contract is $14,914.67 per month. And it's an increase of $474.49 per month over our current.
This would be the Ware County share of the public defenders in this judicial district.
That's correct, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Does each county pay based on their population?
Yes, sir.
Is that the way it's separated out? I know at one time we was having a hard time getting money out of some of these counties, wasn't we?
At one time, yes, sir, that's been right after I started here. Yeah, it's, I think everyone's paid up now.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
This, I mean, it says half of the year. This, I guess,
How often, Mr. Manager, how often have we, or have they asked for an increase?
The last one wasn't an increase. I think it was last year, because I kind of shocked me. I do remember there wasn't an increase. I believe it stayed the same or even went down a little bit, I believe. But this is the first one I've seen as an increase. But, you know, like in everything, cost is rising.
Things
So,
went up,
yeah.
yep.
I do know, I'm almost certain last year was a slight decrease, not much, but it was.
And I think also, in reference to what Commissioner Luker was saying, that this increase is really not for salaries, but it's for benefits. Cause I guess the cost of maybe their insurance went up a little bit.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
this is what this was for. So it's
Yeah.
for the salaries, not for the salaries.
It's all part of their personnel costs, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
okay. Any more discussion on it? Okay, let's vote on it. Are your motion?
I make a
Well,
motion,
Yeah, go ahead.
I make a motion to set the new contract for public defender's office.
So we had a
I think we already had a motion.
Okay.
Second.
We already done that? Want to
Good.
vote on it?
I was wrong.
Yeah, we was on the discussion.
All right, let's vote on it then.
I apologize for that, Steve. Okay, let's vote on it. Mr. Burris,
Aye.
Mr. Pope,
Aye.
Mr. Lucas,
Aye.
Mr. Burns. Chair votes aye. Okay. This is C, office space lease agreement with Action Pack Incorporated. Okay. And that would be under C. Probably gonna be D, ain't it? Yeah. We hear a motion on that thing.
I'll make a motion that we accept the office space lease agreement from Action Pack as written, because I believe what they are doing is needed, it's a necessity, and it's very beneficial to our youth.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, any discussion on it?
I've got one thing I need to ask the county manager. They're only there whenever the office is open.
That's correct. Yes, sir. Yeah, when they're holding court, so to speak,
They don't maintain that office all the time. It's
No,
just
sir.
temporary.
as they need it.
Okay.
And Mr. Chairman, I just again like to state for the record that I'd like to declare a conflict of interest on this particular issue.
Okay,
And your conflict of interest is what?
I chair the board at Action Pack.
okay.
To the record.
Does that mean he's abstained from voting too?
Right.
Okay. Any more discussion on it? If not, let's vote on it. Mr. Pope,
Aye.
Mr. Lucas,
Aye.
Mr. Barner. Chair votes aye. Okay. D is airport entrance signing proposal. And we got a proposal. On that sign. I hear a motion. I guess is that to accept that estimate?
Yes,
Or
sir.
to
Yes,
accept
sir.
that contract?
It's a proposal to build it.
A
Yes, sir.
proposal to the, for, signed by Joy,
Yes, sir.
okay?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we accept this proposal, and, I guess when we get to discussion, I ask the manager, sir.
Okay,
I'll second his.
you got a second. All right, now, we have any discussion on it?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, first of all, I think, this, signed by Joy, they do very good work, but also in conjunction with that, I would like for the manager to elaborate just a little bit more on what's going on out there, because, there's other signage, I think it's like 4 signs that, is he the one that's doing those also?
Yes, sir. The Waycross Ware County Development Authority asked for proposals on constructing 4 new signs for them to replace at the entrances. And at the same time, it was discussed that that Ware County might want to replace the sign for the entrance to the airport. And so it would match that, since there's an industrial park too, and it's an economic development tool at the same time with the airport being there. And so that was kind of how it came about. The sign we have out there is a very, very old sign. I know it's been out there probably 35 years, 40 years. That's long. Is the sign itself, the frame's always been there, but it's been changed out because it started to rot away. But this is a proposal to construct a sign, illuminated sign, a very large sign. I don't know if you looked at it, but it's 8 foot wide and about 12 foot tall, and 2 foot deep
2 foot
or
thick.
thick. And it'll be on a concrete pad with illumination. It has the steel inserts and all the aesthetics that goes along with that sign.
And I guess it's one of those situations where, with them already doing the other 4 signs for the Waycross Ware County Development Authority, while they're already there, they can probably do this maybe less than if we were just to have it a standalone and come back later on.
Yeah, they're gonna, from what I understand, they're gonna dedicate a crew that goes out there and builds those signs. So they'll all be out there at one time to build them. Yes, sir. And they'll take down the old sign, clean it up, run the electrical service for that, so with the sign can be illuminated.
Is the electrical hookup within 25 foot of it?
Yes, sir.
It is.
Yes, sir. It's right there off the edge of the road.
And the cost of the sign is what?
24,000.
20.
Yep.
24,195.
Yeah, 24,195.
77.
77. Yes, sir.
How did that compare with the other signs? Because it's pretty much, the other signs about the same size. Is that
Yes,
pretty
sir.
much the same price range?
They basically are putting in standardized signs, so they all match. All the signs out there that I'm aware of are all types and sizes and different looks and everything, so they're standardizing with that, along with the what many years I guess they still call that. We used to call it in the 90s, call it the high tech park, right there across from the high school. There's going to be a sign put there because a lot of folks are going out there to look when they get calls to look at property there, but they don't know exactly where it's located. So, but with that sign, they'll definitely know. It's there where the lab is, the state lab, that property in there.
Okay, but again, like I said, as far as the cost of the other 4 signs that they're doing out there in the industrial park, that's pretty much in line with what
Yes, sir.
this sign will be.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now, Mr. County Manager, I see on the very first picture, are we to make a determination on,
Well, yes, sir. I'm glad you pointed that out. We the sign we have out there now has a picture, if you will, or design of an airplane, and this is more or less what we come up with. I sent them the type of airplane, and that's two different signs. I think, to me personally, the one on the right looks the best when it's up by the verbiage. So it was just two different ways that they could do it, and I think with cutting grass out there and that kind of thing, if you put something down on where that brick's going to be, it could get damaged.
Right.
So I think up top looks better too, to me.
I agree.
I vote for the right-hand side.
Yeah.
I do too,
Yeah.
right-hand side.
And I think that a while back, Timmy, you brought up something about getting to the airport or something.
There
issue.
was an issue, a complaint I received one night at a restaurant, and gentleman's friend, actually it's a brother-in-law, come in, he flies in all the time to Waycross, and he had some complaints that he gave to his brother-in-law, and his brother-in-law brought it to me. I just happened to be at the same restaurant with him that night, and I talked to Commissioner Pope about it, and I think it's pretty well been handled, taken care of, so.
One of the things I was going to point out that the commission talked about in the work session is there on Albany Avenue. With traffic picking back up, like the chairman mentioned, it might be something down the road that we want to try to find out someplace in that area to put a directional sign for the airport there too.
I agree.
Because that was the sign that Commissioner Pope was mentioning where it went, but it was right off the edge of the road, and cars were hitting it all the time. So it might be that we try to figure out how to get that to happen.
On that bridge, I mean, that'd be the perfect place to put it, somewhere in there.
Like inches.
Up high,
Yep.
when they're traveling over it, they can see it.
Yep.
Because if you put it underneath it, only people on Garlington will see it. So, just before maybe before you enter the bridge, or in the middle of it, or when you come off the
Right.
bridge,
What bridge you talking about?
the one on Albany Avenue. That's what that we're gonna do.
Do we put up the, signs for the hospital too? Or is that done by?
If it's on state highway, the state does
State
that.
does that?
Yes, sir. I know, like I said, in work session, I know the one on US 1 coming south, there needs to be a directional sign for the airport there. I rode out there just to look when we started looking at those things, and I know that needs to be done. And they're supposed to be putting that up any day now. But they usually have directional signs where it's a picture of an airplane, a top view of the airplane with an arrow, so that way people will know they don't spell out the words. They just put the symbol.
Okay, about the hospital. Is the signs, do we do that, or who does the hospital sign? You said done by the state?
The state,
State.
there has to be a request by the state, but a lot of times the state will investigate where those things are, because those landmark places like that, they always try to make sure they get those covered.
I know we got some up in Waycross that directs you to the hospital, and some people told me they missing and all that stuff. I know they used to be a good.
Yeah.
There were several signs at one time. We had good view of it. But. Okay. Any more?
Okay.
Well, me and Commissioner Pope like the one on the right. What do y'all like, Commissioner?
Right. Yeah, that one on the right.
I like the same one y'all like.
Yeah.
One on the right. And, Commissioner Pope and I, we trying to figure out something on this sign right here, and, I think we finally come to a conclusion that this, where it say 3098 Ken Drive, then it's got 108, and look like that's, I guess, abbreviation of inches.
It's 108
Yes.
inches,
And
yeah.
it took us a long time. We figured out it's talking about how long it was. So we wondered if it's gonna be on the sign or not. I told Jerry I didn't think it was. Yeah, we kept trying to figure out what was that 108. And so,
Yeah,
That just means it's gonna be a big sign.
yeah.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, put it better. Okay, any more? Anything else on them side?
We have a motion and a second to approve it.
Okay. And we got a motion and a second on the, contract. Let's vote on it. Mr. Burris?
Aye.
Mr. Pope?
Aye.
Mr. Lucas?
Aye.
Mr. Barnard? Chair votes aye. Okay. This is E, the memorandum of understanding with Downtown Waycross Development Authority.
Mr. Chairman, as we discussed in the work session, this is a continuation of the MOU that we have in place now. The director in Downtown Development Authority left for a position with the FBI, and this would name the new director taking her place, and it's the same understanding that we have as a pass-through, cost the county not anything. So I'll make a motion that we accept it.
I'll
Approve
second that motion, Mr. Pope, especially since we ain't got to pay.
Okay. I have a motion and a second for the memorandum of understanding. Okay, is there any discussion on it?
Yeah, now, my understanding is what is the downtown development director? That's not an employee of the county, but
Correct.
they're using it. And I think last time, I was trying to figure out how that worked, and we got our HR director here, and maybe, I'm just trying to see how does this really work? They're not an employee of the county, but they're under the county's
Group health insurance.
group health insurance.
Yes, sir. They can just enroll and be a member.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that's never been any problem or any, okay.
Why doesn't the city take care of that since they're inside the city?
That might be a good question for Commissioner Pope.
Yeah, that'll come up under service and delivery strategy discussions.
So it will be coming up under there? Okay.
That was brought up
Well,
when we first started doing this.
Yeah, last year I was wondering, well, how could that be, but
Yeah.
like I said, I think right now it's under the service to delivery strategy that we do that.
Right.
But when we
It's
have
going
our,
to be under discussion when we get to that.
okay. Okay.
Could we add other things to that, Commissioner Pope?
Do what now?
Other things.
Yeah, like the, Boy Scout Lake,
The what?
Boy Scout Lake,
Boy,
that's a city park.
wait a minute, what does that have to do with health insurance?
Well, we were talking about, you said that you were gonna bring it up at the strategy.
Yeah.
Can we add that to it, bring that up too, because, you know, the city don't pay for nothing over there, nothing.
Right.
And it's dead in the center of the county. And,
Yeah, the board will be discussing what's on the service and delivery
Yes, sir.
shortly.
okay,
I'm sorry.
Okay. Is there any more discussion on it? Let's vote on it then, I reckon. Mr. Burson?
Aye.
Mr. Pope?
Aye.
Mr. Lucas?
aye.
Mr. Barner?
Uh,
Chair votes aye. Okay. County manager's report. You got anything to?
Yes, sir. I just got one thing I want to mention. I want to recognize Miss Teresa Bailey. She, I got a letter this past week, last week, that she had achieved her certification in human resources through the Carl Vinson Institute of Government. So that's a great achievement, and they haven't sent the plaque or anything, but when it comes in, I'll make sure we recognize her. Oh, really?
You already?
Okay. All right. Well, at the next meeting, we'll present that so it's official. We get a picture made and everything. So yeah.
Well, I didn't know you would do that, so
Yeah.
or I would have given it to you.
Okay.
That's a big accomplishment. Congratulations, Teresa.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Sure is.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hard work pays off.
Yep.
I read it in the paper. Congratulations. Sure did. I saw where
The
you.
initials go down.
So she have time now to have her evening gown and everything whenever we.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
Kind of like homecoming queen with a bouquet of roses and the whole work. There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness. I think that's a great accomplishment that speaks well for our human resource department, because that's what we wanna do. Sometimes human resource can keep you out of a whole lot of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I have, Mr.
Okay,
Chairman.
any more? Anybody got anything else? Okay, how
Chairman,
about the
let me just
commission
say this
comment?
right here. I'd like to say, on Commissioner Pope and Commissioner Bonner and the job they did with the, loss
Lost
negotiation.
tax, yeah.
And, I think they did a great job with that, and I think it benefits to the city and the county. And we can move on with that, and, hopefully when we get into the, for the service
Service
delivery,
delivery.
if they can do as good a job, not to say they, whoever, whenever we get to that point, I hope we can be as successful, I'll put it that way, because I don't know who will be on that team.
Okay. Okay, any more commission comments? Anything y'all need to bring up?
No, sir.
Need to talk about? No. Okay. No more comment here. I motion to adjourn.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Everybody in favor? Meeting adjourned.